watching your most viewed and most popular video on YouTube, mashallah. What was it, like 5 hours long, 5.5? Yeah,
Yeah,
subhanallah.
the debate, yeah.
Yeah, subhanallah. Um, I think it's definitely a very interesting debate. I think a lot of good reflective points came from it. I think it was um highly educational for a lot of people, and I think it really spoke to your opponent and his academic uh, what's the word, academic
We're talking
Disintegrity.
about we're
yeah,
talking about the one with A plus.
yeah.
Mm.
They are referring to the interview the apostate prophet gave to this brain-dead radical, Haqiqatjou. The fact that Muslims think Haqiqatjou did well in this interview comes only to demonstrate the level of the Muslim community.
Do you believe that slavery is an ideal system? Do you believe that that there should be slaves in a society? Do you think slavery is okay?
Yeah, I mean, slavery is something that I do not find to be immoral.
In this interview, Haqiqatjou admitted everything Robert Spencer says about Islam. But he did that in an unapologetic way. He presented ISIS arguments, but in a scholarly manner. His views are still ISIS, no matter if he sounds intellectual. Haqiqatjou, although likes to call himself the Muslim skeptic, he's the complete opposite of a skeptic. He's a blind cultist. If Haqiqatjou is a skeptic, I am a black female stripper in Las Vegas. He's the opposite, the complete opposite of a skeptic. The irony, the Muslim skeptic is a blind cultist.
Daniel shared this joke on Twitter. Oh man, I missed the International Day Against Homophobia. The best way to celebrate such a beautiful, momentous, important day is the Muslim way. Recreational base jumping. Daniel Haqiqatjou here is referencing the Islamic punishment to execute gay people by throwing them off a high place and making their punishment a spectacle for people.
This is the interview this young Muslim found so impressive. The last 2 decades after 9/11, we notice the weird phenomenon, every new generation of Muslims being more fundamentalist than their fathers. And that was exactly the plan of Osama bin Laden. That totally worked, by the way. Attack the West, inevitably the West fights back, and eventually polarize the communities, the Muslim community against the West. And that's exactly what is happening. Young Muslims, instead of becoming more open-minded, modern every year, they become more fundamentalist. Of course, I blame the radicals like bin Laden and Haqiqatjou for brainwashing this youth, but I also blame the Muslim youth. Youth supposed to have an open mind and heart. They supposed to challenge the status quo. Unfortunately, Muslim youth have the heart and the mind of old men.
how
Yeah.
academically disingenuous he is. When he said what was that point he made, that our wars are a lot more bloody because we have like weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
He said
was
something
just
like
all
he said
over
something
the-
like Islam.
In the 20th and 21st century, it has been full of bloodshed. According to Professor Carter, he says that the 20th century has been the most bloodiest century ever.
This is the argument they are doing. USA is a real terrorist. This argument, only a 10-year-old and Hamza Tzortzis can make this argument. You think you won this argument, eh? Firstly, the efficiency for killing and how you use it matters. For example, USA has 270,000 of these bombs. Half of this bomb is enough to destroy all the Middle East in 1 hour. What if ISIS had this bomb? You little explorers, you little brilliant, that destroy all arguments. What if ISIS had this bomb? We would have now a world. No, we wouldn't have a world right now. So, the apostate prophet was right, after all. Then we have other factors, like the intentions. What do you intend with killing? You intend to liberate a place, or you intend a theocratic dictatorship? To enslave a place. Intentions play a role. Do you target civilians, or civilians are collateral damage? If USA wanted to target civilians, they wouldn't make wars 10 years. The war would have been ended in the first day, my friend. Do you even comprehend what kind of weapons USA has? In the Second World War, Germany had not even 100 of the power of USA. And it defeated France, the most powerful country of its day, in 5 days. And now USA makes 10 years to defeat Afghanistan. Eh? How is that possible? Because then they were carpet bombing. They were not using smart bombs. They were not going into houses and asking, did you see any terrorists?
Conventional bombing attacks.
Is this a football stadium? That is Tokyo. The firebombing of Tokyo.
What is the lesson of the firebombing of Tokyo? Just this. The danger of nuclear weapons should not blind us to the destructive power of conventional weapons.
Didn't have weapons of mass destruction, so that's why they didn't use it. Like what?
Yeah, very
Yeah. This is the kind of, it's like you can't even understand what he's trying to say for most of that debate. Like he was just all over the place, and it's because he didn't expect his views to be challenged. And a lot of people with that mindset who are coming from this kind of modernist, liberal, secular perspective, they just think it's common sense, like their way of doing things, the way that the West is run. They think that's just the standard default that all human beings rationally believe. So then to start raising just obvious objections, critiquing it is a shock. Like they have never gotten that before. And that's why he had to, sputter about and really made a fool of himself. So alhamdulillah.
Haqiqatjou, logic is one, reason is one. Oh, something went to my eye. I will then see the camera what went to my eye. There will be... reason is one, my friend. There isn't any alternative reason. You are just an idiot. Simple. There is a reason and you are just an idiot. That is what's going on. It's not alternative reason, alternative ways, alternative thinking.
Alhamdulillah. And 100%, a lot of atheists, they don't know that even the fact that they're atheist, right, is making certain claims, right? So holding an atheistic position is conceding, or not conceding, but I would say holding the belief that the universe can exist without a godlike being, right? And that within itself will catch a lot of people off guard. So like you said, a lot of people think it's common sense, right? Because they are brought up in this way. To them, it's the only way. And it's almost like a superiority complex that they have.
Young man, have you ever considered the possibility you are the blind cultist that is brainwashed by societies and not atheists that become atheists with reason? Have you ever considered this small possibility? I know it's almost impossible, but given the fact that your cult is named Surrender, okay, forget that. Have you ever considered that you are the brainwashed and not atheist? You might, okay, I should not continue this argument. 1 hour, the same argument. What did you consider?
That if you don't, and it's basically like political correctness, if you don't have this stance, this view, then you're wrong. And I think it goes back to the white man's burden, which is something that came up during the discussion, the debate. But with these people, a lot of the time I find that they just have one underlying motivation, and they have this one drive, which is, I want to, for this guy, it just seems like he wants to prove Islam wrong for some reason.
For some reason. Look, in the real world, not in your Ummah bubble, in the real world, Islam is the number one social threat to the human civilization. Okay? The guy you are interviewing right now advocates for a theocratic dictatorship, to dismantle human rights, executing gays. Offensive jihad is justified. So, for some reason, one day we might find out, eh?
I think he even praised Christianity. And I saw a tweet about it, that he was praising Christianity when, them themselves in their history have very questionable things. And all he does is attack Islam. So with someone like that, it's like there isn't much for him to do except to, slip and slide and stutter, just trying to hit a very specific mark that he very clearly keeps on missing. But looking back to that debate now, how do you look back on it and how do you view it?
Well, I think that it was a good debate. I did, he denies that it's a debate. It was a debate, but...
Wait, what did he think it was in the beginning?
I mean, he claims now, after the fact, that it was just a conversation, right? It wasn't a conversation. We should have a real debate. So basically, he wants a rematch to save face. He's like, that didn't count, that didn't count.
Every guy on Twitter that says that it liked your debate, I then ask him, so you agree slavery is better than employment then? No. So how did you like it? So you agree that we should execute gays then? No. But he won the debate. Adnan Rashid said, like you, that you annihilated the apostate prophet. And then I went and I told him, so you agree when he said that, eh? And then he made a statement. No, I don't agree with his views. I separate myself from his views. Everybody says in the Muslim world that he won the debate, and when you ask them, so you agree with this then, eh? No. Just make an argument, my friend. Just make an argument, you shameless buffoon. You think you won a debate in which you said slavery is better than employment.
So that's what he says. It was just conversation, but he was advertising it as a debate. Like, he put the thumbnail in the YouTube invitation.
Yeah, you won the debate. The only reason there is a single person in this world that still makes this argument is because this video was 5 hours and I couldn't make a response. This is the only reason. The destruction I would have done to you if that video was shorter. First of all, in my old Twitter, that Twitter took down because I gave the definition of a pedophile. In my old Twitter, you know how many people I had asked, do you agree with Haqiqatjou? Muslims. Say, yeah, it's the best. He said that. Do you agree with this? Ah, did he say that? No, I don't agree with him. You know how many people? Let me give you some names. Mansour, the Pondering Soul, Full Metal Theist, Adnan Rashid. That was the first thing that I will demonstrate. That whoever says that you won the interview didn't understand what you said. That's the first. Secondly, I would have taken Robert Spencer and I would have made a parallel of your statement and his statement. And I would have demonstrated that you say the same things. So you would have won the interview then. And thirdly, I would have demolished your arguments. I would have demolished them. Is it hard for me, Socrates' son, to defeat an argument, slavery is better than employment? Wow, that is a challenge. Your friend, what was his name? Andalusian Project was making an argument for 3 years. And I defeated this argument in... I just had a breath. In seconds. Nobody can defeat my argument. I was making it 3 years. My philosophy teachers cannot defeat it. Okay, let's see the argument. 1, 2, 3, defeated. And I would have found it difficult to defeat an argument, slavery is better than employment. Wow. Imagine to see this argument and say, I am defeated. I cannot defeat this argument. Haqiqatjou is truly the scholar. He is a philosopher. Never mind that he's a blind cultist. What's that? Never mind that he's a blind cultist. Okay, guys, this is the end of this video. I try to make my video shorter. I will answer the next arguments in the next video. Thank you very much.